In this transformational process, organizations like LifeSpring and other programs use what's called experiential learning. Break that down just a little bit for the viewers, the distinction between experiential learning and just book learning.
Yeah, in the trainings we call it didactic learning, right? So we have didactic learning where regurgitation, you go to school, college, you memorize information, binge and purge. I'm sure people they're listening, you go to college and you're cramming on a Thursday and a test on a Friday. Your mother asks you what you learned on a Saturday, you forget it. That's called didactic learning. And we also call it the forgetting curve. The neuroscience, the science tells us that after 30 days, we're going to forget most of what we learned. Okay, that's not disputable. There's billions of papers or millions of papers written about. It's called the natural forgetting curve, and that's called didactic learning. Short-term learning, we're going to forget most of it unless we do it every day. The trainings, they've been around 50 years, and why they're so powerful because it's experiential learning, which is distinct from book learning or didactic learning. And experiential learning is the opportunity that we have to experience our own learning, be in discovery. And it's rooted in really neuroscience. The brain learns through pattern recognition. It learns through building neural patterns. Michael, this is all out there for people to don't believe what I say. Please look into what I say. To understand human being, you have to understand what goes on in here. We have 86 billion neurons, and they're always communicating, and they're building pathways. You go to the bathroom, you drink water, everything you do habitually builds a pattern. And the awesome thing about that is understanding how the brain works gives you the ability to build a pathway. And so in the trainings, you get that opportunity through experiential, participating in your own learning. Your brain is building a deeper pathway where you can recall that information and use it in the future. With didactic learning, your brain can't hold on to it. It doesn't build a pathway. So that's why after about 30 days, unless you're shooting the basketball over and over again, most of human beings will forget. With experiential, you're participating in your own learning. You're in discovery nonstop. So from a neurological standpoint, you're building a deeper pathway, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're building and your brain can recall it in the future. Still takes work, still takes committed action, still takes like either swinging the bat or dribbling the ball or whatever analogy you want to use in regards to putting the work in. But that's actually what's happening. Experiential learning is the most powerful type of learning, which is why kids and adults love sports. Sports would be an example of experiential learning because you're participating, you're on the field, you're not in the classroom. In the classroom, a lot of it is didactic learning. You're just doing the lecturette. You're just listening, taking in information, and then maybe recalling it, usually in a test.
Yeah. Yeah, and another way to look at it is if you had never ridden a bicycle and I gave you a book and I want you to read that and study that book on how to ride that bicycle, after you memorize that book, would you be able to ride the bike? No. Mm-hmm. You won't learn how to ride the bike until you ride the bike. You've got to experience the bike. And so that's the power of experiential learning. It's something that gets in your being, as we were saying at the beginning. So that's the transformational part.